Hi and welcome to my channel. Today I want to try something new, which is nail art. Maybe you can tell by these colors, but it's Christmas nail art actually. It's definitely late, but as it's my first time doing this, I figured it would still be great to post this because maybe in a year I can look back and see all the improvements I've made. What you're seeing now is a post-it I first did to try to figure out my ideas on paper. So let's get started. I'll be using Zoya's Wyatt, Starly's Christmas Lights, and Cert Colors Lame. I'll also be using this cheap brush set from Amazon. So I've already started with my base coats and have all nails covered. I'll be using Essie's Fairy Tailer. Based on my post-it, 3 fingers will be using this to start with, the pointer, the middle, and the ring. So I'll be doing it on both hands. This is definitely the easiest part, especially because I'm so used to this formula, but the Zoya will be my first time using and we'll see how that goes in a bit. Okay, so right away I was struck by how thin the brush is. I've been really used to the paddle brushes that come with many indies, and even Essie's line has been really easy to work with, but these are really skinny. So I feel like it's a little more difficult when I'm doing full coverage nails, like for the thumb and pinky, when working with this thin brush. However, I think the formula is great. It was full coverage in just one coat. Okay, so now to get a little bit more fancy, I'm going to do one nail with half of the Zoya, and here I feel like it's definitely easier with this thinner brush to do this kind of more minute detail. And the middle finger, I am actually trying for the first time a French tip. It's a little thick, especially on my short nails, but I don't think it looks too bad. So now we move on to the left hand. The half nail wasn't too hard. I'm having a little bit more trouble working on the French tip on my left hand, and I've already messed up. But I think it'll be okay. I'm going to go over it again with a fine liner brush, the 9mm, and I'm going to dab some of the polish onto this little palette that came with my set. I'm just trying to better shape the edge of the French tip now, and it's like the more I work on it, it's kind of getting wider, but it's my first time, so I'm just trying to get the shape right. So it's not the prettiest, but it'll do. On my right hand, I'm definitely shakier since I'm using my left hand. Oh no! Okay, so now I redo that entire nail. Go through every coat all over again. It's definitely thicker than before, but at this point I think we're just gonna go with it. So my original post-it, I was planning to do this nail as just a full glitter nail, but then I thought the Wyatt Zoya is really pretty and I kind of wanted to challenge myself a bit, so I thought, okay, I can totally do a tree, right? So I'm doing a tree, but it's a little uneven. It still kind of looks like a tree. So I'm starting on my left hand, and already it's not the same as the right. But I think I can fix it. Kind of. It's okay. So next we're going to do some details with Cert Colors Lame. I think this is a really pretty gold. I'm using a slightly longer tip brush, and I'm starting by putting a line down the middle for the half color nail. Then I'm going to put the gold accent on the French tip. I feel like it looks so much easier when watching tutorials on Instagram of people who are already skilled. When you're trying it for the first time, there is a huge learning curve, especially if your hands just aren't used to that kind of fine line detail. And I draw for a living, so this was surprisingly challenging, but I'm just kind of enjoying myself and going with it. There's that saying that goes, if you want to be good at something, you have to first be willing to be bad at it, which in this case, I do think it's worth seeing what I'm capable of at this point, and I hope that in a year, when I try again, there will be a huge improvement. So here I decided to add a little star on top of the tree to make it a little bit more festive and to hide my mistakes a little bit. I think it's going okay, but the shape is not as easy to make as I thought. For the pinky nail, I thought I would do a little bow because that also didn't look too hard on the Instagram reels that I've been watching. But mine is not coming out as nicely as I was hoping. Definitely not centered, but at least it looks like a bow. Moving on to the right hand, which will be a lot harder and definitely a lot shakier. I'm just hoping to get it as nice as I can, even if it's not perfect, because nobody's perfect and I don't think anyone's gonna look that closely. So the second star isn't coming out so bad, but I'm really not sure about the bow on this hand. Kind of looks like a pair of scissors, and it definitely doesn't match on both sides, but we'll move on. Now I'm going to put some glitter on the thumb. I was thinking of a glitter gradient. I love this Orly Christmas lights glitter. It's just so pretty and it really does remind you of Christmas. I'm not using any separate brushes, and in order to get the gradient you basically want to have the most at the tip and then slowly put smaller glitter more spread out towards the bottom, which is why I put some dabs on my ring finger on the Christmas tree to kind of make it all sparkly, and then I was left with the smaller pieces of glitter that I was able to move down on the thumb. Look at how sparkly and festive. I really feel like glitter just fixes everything. And even on my right hand, it is much easier to do the glitter gradient because it's not such fine brush strokes. If you're a super beginner, doing a glitter gradient could be a really great start to trying out nail art. And since Orly's Christmas Lights is a chunky glitter, I'm going to use KB Shimmer's Smooth Moves to seal in and smooth out this glitter. I received it as a gift with purchase during their Black Friday sale, and I have to say that it is one of my favorite new additions to my nail polish collection. KB Shimmer's Smooth Moves just really helps to smooth out the surface of glitter and make it so that your nails don't catch on anything, or you don't need to use multiple coats of top coat. You can just use this and pair it with your favorite top coat. Yay, so we're almost done. I think pretty much the only thing I need is a clear top coat to seal in everything, but honestly, I'm kind of still bothered by the little bows, so I decided to change it into ornaments because like a little round shape might be easier and I can fill it in with glitter, which again, I really think glitter is just the most forgiving and you can pretty much hide all your mistakes that way, but it just looks so pretty and sparkly. And this is the finished product with all nails covered in top coat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me.